Welcome to another thrilling adventure in the saga that is The Shade's Tale. It is a second edition Ironclaw role-playing game. I am joined by an intrepid cast here, and we're going to go around and introduce ourselves and our characters. And I'm going to remember today to introduce myself, Red Rabbit, and I will be your game host. What do we call it in this game? I think we call it host in this game, but basically your game master.
Hosting our party.
Yes, I'm hosting the party tonight. So, or I guess this morning. As we do every game, we go around and we introduce our characters. We talk about what goals they currently have outstanding, and we talk about their mottos as well. And we'll start with Theta. Theta, tell us about your character.
Yeah, I'm Dan, the lemur brute. My personality is bold. My motto is I am the greatest. My goals are deliver Tess's letter to half-faced Vico and help Mercurio recover his lost memory.
That sounds right. Okay, next up we've got Connor.
Hello,
I guess we got Mark Lloyd playing Connor, sorry.
Yep. I'm Mark Lloyd. I play Connor Lavera de Egravis, the Brazen Raccoon Knight, whose motto is one hand washes the other. And he has the two goals of deliver Tess's letter to half-faced Ludovicio at the Bent Nail Tavern in Femerouge and to help Mercurio regain his lost memory.
Cool. And last but not least today, we've got Rafferty.
Hello, world. I'm Norman Rafferty, he, him, and I'm playing Anushka, the Microbat Messenger. Where my motto is no fear, serve with joy. And I have Ludovicio as the name here. Ludovicio of Femerouge at the Bent Nail Tavern.
Yep.
And I also have the goal of help Mercurio get his lost memory back. I don't think we solved that one yet.
No,
we're just calling him Mercurio because we needed a name for him, and we thought, let's name him after the loser who gets killed. Out Romeo and Juliet.
That's Mercutio, but very similar. Mercurio is a name that I stole from a video game.
Well, then he's named after the god of the roads and god of thieves.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Or perhaps he's named that because he's mercurial, which means he makes friends easily. I mean, after all, he has no memory, so he doesn't remember how much of an asshole you are.
Exactly. No, it's very true. Without a memory, he could be any number of people.
So yeah, you are correct. I've lost all Shakespeare cred, so I'm out.
It's a near miss and can't be blamed. Okay,
yes,
cool.
I can't be blamed. That's my new motto. I can't be blamed.
Exactly. My new motto will be I'm the GM. I judge people, or judging things is what I do. Okay, so we're going to do a quick recap of where we were at last session, because last session was 2 weeks ago, because I was sick last week. Apologies. And we'll get ourselves up to speed. You guys basically decided that this dark, unholy necromancy would not stand, and so you seeked out another necromancer by the name of Bartleby the Strange, who you had heard was conducting more dark, unholy experiments on a tiny island in the middle of Lake Aube, known as Birdskull Island for its unique shape. You guys navigated a ferry there. You found that the ritual was being conducted, and you attacked. At the end of the day, you managed to blow off Bartleby the Strange's head, and defeat his small force. Yes. Anushka wasted no time. Although before this happened, things got quite dire. The entire party was caught by a mass agony spell, which is a particularly nasty spell that ended up taking the lives of one of Connor's irregulars and also of Griffin's, and by Griffin I mean the doctor's ally.
Yeah, the good doctor
Lael.
just got that companion, and they died by necromancy. I don't think there's a worse way to die.
Yeah, it seems like a pretty horrible way. He died screaming. So, um, coming off the heels of that tragedy, everyone, um, you guys buried the bodies and you took the boat that you had stolen from Bartleby the Strange and you used it to travel downriver to Chalon-sur-Saldre, where you all took a breather, a night to mourn and get really, really, really drunk. And during this evening, you were approached by a group of obvious mercenaries led by a Black Panther who introduced himself as a handsome marshal, and he appealed to Connor to hire him and his men um, to basically be your irregulars for the time being. And you guys came to terms, and it sounds like you decided that this was a good idea, so you hired these guys. Let's see. And I believe that's where we left things. So if we look at our map, we had a plan. Our only outstanding goal that has a definite location on the map is to deliver this letter. It's been a long time since Connor has been back to see the family at the at Ferme Rouge, and that seems to be the direction you guys are heading in.
There was,
Only 5 days away. We could be there in the week.
They said there was no reason why we were going to Enclume, right?
I don't think there was an special reason. No,
I think that was
No,
just
I
me
mean,
dragging the thing, because I think I wrote that line. So yeah, I think that's wrong.
Well, I mean, it makes sense because it would be going down river to Enclume and then Ferme Rouge. That's probably where the roads are. That would make the most sense to me.
Well, I mean, we're already in Chalon, right? Which would have
Yeah.
a road out that way, because this is plains. This is all
Well,
plains.
not necessarily. They might have a road to Enclume, but not to Ferme Rouge because notice the river there. There could easily be an undocumented town here. There might not be a road that goes
I
directly.
might be
from
my
here to
modern day laziness kicking in, but we already disembarked a boat. Do we really want to get back on a boat?
Well, there might
have a
also
boat.
be a road that follows the river because roads often follow river.
Right, but Enclume is on the other side of the river.
I'm just saying that naturally most of the traffic would be this way. That's where they built the road.
I mean, there has to be at least one road heading out that way. Conscient is there.
There would also be the idea of going out to Conscient, right? But there might. I mean, all roads lead to Chalon because that's the capital, but not necessarily all roads lead to each other.
Well,
So
I mean, there's also all those, as we previously discussed, all those shoreside fishing villages and whatnot, and all that shit has to come into Chalon at some point. So
yeah. No, I mean, if we're not using a wagon, there's probably no big issues, and we lost the war wagon a while ago, right?
Right.
Has it been 30 days yet?
Oh Jesus! When did you guys lose the war wagon? That was over in Harrogate.
No, we lost the Three Corners Fort.
That was the carriage. You guys had a carriage and a wagon. Carriage, you lost the Three Corners
Well, I
Fort.
guess the carriage is long gone then, yeah.
It's probably been 30 days.
I think we lost
it
the
was
other
like
one
2
around the
weeks
same
to
spot.
Harrogate.
I think we lost the other one at one of the river crossings on the Via Salutis.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we should write those off.
The East Granberg when we were crossing with the pirate gang and the other guys.
Legally, they would have to wait 30 days at least to sell it, but that's the law. I mean, also, it's against the law to kill people. Does that stop anyone?
Fair
Doesn't
point.
stop us.
Not historically, no.
So they're probably gone. Yeah, so actually, if we're traveling overland and this is plains, the only thing we would really have to worry about is trespass, and we have Connor with us, so we can't trespass. This is Averdor domain, and CoinMed is legal. So the worst we could run into is you could make a local lord upset with you, and the Averdor are incredibly provincial to the point of civil war.
This is a little off topic. I saw The Last Duel recently, which is a movie that's all about like medieval politics in like the 12th century France. Which, anyway, I don't know if it's a fun movie, but it was interesting. Huh?
That sounds good. I hate fun too.
There you go. Right? Yeah. So, is Ben Affleck with like bleached hair playing the haughtiest lord you've ever seen, and it's kind of awesome. Actually,
I'm
it's really
sold.
funny.
I don't know. The one I was bringing up lately was the duelist, so kind of the same motif.
So
Yeah,
we have title and we have errand. We could easily we could just go there. It's gonna take us at least 5 days. Because that's it's about 1 day per square, and that's about 4.5, maybe 5 days away. And if we take shortcuts, we're not gonna be on roads. But I think we could do it.
So what's the decision? Where's the route? Are you guys headed directly as the crow flies to Ferme Rouge? Are you going to stop off at Conscient or Enclume?
I don't know if we don't need to provision anything, do we? Because Enclume is one of the best forges in the world. But you guys are girded up with the finest steel you can use, right?
Right.
Well, I'm barely wearing clothes.
Give you use blades.
Right.
Thank you for wearing clothes.
Barely.
Hey.
Well, Connor has quote unquote enemies or a antagonistic family in the Clume. So he's going to head through Conscient then to Ferme following the roads.
Clarify my memory. Enclume is the major forge, not Eloge, right?
And Clume is the forge, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So we would want to avoid Enclume specifically.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. All right, then east by north it is.
I like it. Sorry, I'm realizing that I don't think we've ever been to Conscient before, and I want to see if it does have an entry in the Gazette. There it is.
Yeah, any city on this map. Well, actually, I shouldn't say any city. I think one or two don't.
Well, I mean, Conscient is actually history, both by the name of its, I almost use the word air quotes, creator, and what they did.
If I recall, is it the old capital before Shalon, or was Shalon always the capital?
I think Shalon was always the capital. Conscient is somebody who had ties to the royalty, though. The bloodline of people. I did a whole thing about who was related to who from the very beginning to the end. And they're tied in there. Well, you saw it, Red.
Yeah, it's it seems to be famous for its college, basically. It's sort of like they say that it is not as open-minded, I guess, as the Dunwasser Academy in Triskellion, but it's sort of like the Avoirdupois' own center of knowledge, probably heavily biased towards the study of Salumer and religion.
Yeah. So it's their wizardry college.
But
okay.
It's founded by the brother Boulanger.
Boulanger.
Yeah,
exactly.
who is by name obviously related to.
Yeah, but Boulanger is one of the 5 great families.
Right, so it's an important place both by its studies. I mean, obviously you can figure out by what the name of the place is, what they study, and who founded it.
Yeah, like technically Avoirdupois isn't really a family name, it's the alliance of all 5 great families together.
Yep.
Like the United Kingdom is all one kingdom, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's why a bunch of them are trying to get out all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we Americans wouldn't know anything about that.
We wouldn't know anything about that. All right. So
we're gonna take this video after the Civil War.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, come back 20 years
Christ.
from now to look back at our old videos. Those were the good old days. Hold on, let me keep you on my left eye, the good one.
Exactly, yeah. Oh. All right. So, let's see. Because
We made Red
I like
sad.
the traveling. Huh?
I'm sorry, made Red sad. So yeah, traveling, which is basically where I fly backwards because you guys are so slow.
So slow.
That's all right. I like taking it easy. I like being surrounded by an armed mob. Did we hire some good-looking people this time?
You did, yes. Well, I mean, self-proclaimed at the very least. So,
They're always self-proclaimed good-looking people. I mean, if you see,
yeah.
just look at Dan. Just look at it.
Dan is a lover and a fighter.
I don't have any complaints.
Well, so Handsome Marshall, I guess he probably could be, or maybe in his youth was considered handsome. He's accumulated a good number of scars that some people might be into. The rest of his posse are pretty brutish. You see a lot of bad table manners from this group, but they do seem capable of handling themselves.
I really miss the acting troupe. The acting troupe is great.
They were good, right? These guys are a lot less fun conversation, although, I mean, they do have some pretty hair-raising stories of their exploits, if that's something that you guys are interested in hearing.
Hitting him, and he just wouldn't die.
Oh, he died, sure enough. It just took a few extra whaps of the old pacifier.
Yep, just gotta in there and just work it upwards. Now, a lot of people would say you can't impale with a mace, but it's all in the technique.
It's all in the technique.
You know,
See this right here?
There, kind of staring, going, I really miss the acting group.
Exactly. This mark right here was from his back left molar. It's yeah. Anyway, so you're a charming lot. Exactly, which I keep. Yep. So yeah, but you know, for what it's worth though, along the journey they do volunteer to do like guard duty and watching, and anytime there's a question or you're passing someone on the road who looks less than savory, they do you know, they don't need to be told to ready their weapons. They look like they're used to getting themselves into tough scrapes.
Isn't Connor paying them?
Connor is.
Yes.
So we don't have to volunteer to do anything. They're on the job.
That's true. But I'll say that you guys have traveled with enough irregulars
I thought
to know that some
Connor
of them
attracted hangers on.
Well, no, these guys approached Connor, and Connor agreed to pay them to be the irregulars, which I'm assuming just means that no actual payments being made. I just mean the fact that in the context of the story, Connor is air quotes paying them, which means that anything they do, they're not volunteering to do. They're on the job. Get to work.
Well, in any event, it's nice to know that, we can travel and because the bandits will look at you and I don't think I want to screw with that.
Yeah, basically. You guys have muscle. And it's very obvious muscle, so. So yes, so you reach the, when you reach the, town of Conscient, you can see a different class of person strolling through the streets, rather than the throngs of peasants or the bustle of merchant class folk from Shalon. Conscience features a lot of people wearing scholarly robes and a lot of learned-looking individuals who kind of turn up their nose at you and your companions, who, you know, don't smell especially great.
You know, it just occurred to me, despite having that 5-minute conversation about the town itself, we have a guy who has to get their memory fixed, and we're at the center of learning for mind magic.
Well, it might be possible to find a cognoscenti here. Normally, they're professing to be Athanasians, but I'm not sure how well that goes over here.
Well, I mean, this is where the college for them is. So I would hope that we'd be able to find one. Otherwise, this is a fly-by-night business.
Well, the mind wizards don't, admit openly they're mind wizards. So, but yeah, that makes them tricky to find.
I'm just saying, I don't know of any better place.
Well,
next to John Walker, this would be the next best place. No, you have some good. Do you know anything of the affairs of wizards?
This is all out of character. We could move on from here and not even touch it. I would not know in character.
Well, I guess that leaves me because I know the affairs of everyone because I'm talkative and cosmopolitan. I'm a messenger.
Mm.
And now you can read their
Hmm.
letters too.
I can read,
But you don't.
But you could.
but I don't.
Good.
But you could.
The way I figure, Conscient would be where Connor and his brothers have been educated.
That's very possible. It says in the book too that a lot of the princes and princesses of the land are sent here to receive their education. So, Connor, you might have history here. You might know the place.
Yeah, I don't know how much he'd know it according to like the magical end of their studies, but he might at least know enough to ask somebody.
This is where
Yeah,
we
you
find out
probably
that
know.
real Connor died 20 years ago. But his mother and father were so distraught that they took a young orphan boy and implanted memories of their son into his mind and dropped him off at Condescend.
Oh, that's fantastic, actually. I really like that. I'm going to use that in something. But yes, I just saw your chat, Theta, hair-raising stories about raising hairs. Okay. But yeah, actually, you know what, Connor? I'm sure that you know probably like a headmaster or a professor that took a liking to you that is still operating, looking just as old and wizened as ever. So if you would like to seek that person out, we totally can. If you have questions about it, about the area.
All right, he'd certainly go looking. He'd tell Dan and Anushka and, of course, the doctor about this first, about where he was going.
Cool. I'm going to pull up my name generator.
Watch him get a particularly heinous name.
Surly Brunna the Whore.
Yep.
It's a shame to let some of these go. Okay. All right. So, the professor, who is this, like, what area of study do you think this professor should be? What's something that Connor would have studied in his youth that he was, particularly good at?
Military theory, right?
Right. Tactics,
Fencing.
military history.
Just remembering back to
I
the
like
last
it.
Sherlock Holmes movie I watched where he was a child, one of those children's Sherlock Holmes movies. And the teacher he always got along with was the fencing teacher.
Oh, yeah, right? That's, young Sherlock Holmes. Fencing. I love that. Okay, so we'll say this is, would Sly be considered like a negative nickname? Something like Crafty, but not necessarily like I'm gonna steal your wallet, Crafty.
General rule: if a nickname shows up in the random name generator, it's always negative.
Yeah.
Not all of them, no.
Right. This one I'm just coming up. The actual pull we got was Stinky Vico, which I don't know. That doesn't sound like a great name for a professor that was well liked.
As a person who went behind the name generator to steal all the names from it.
Yeah, yeah.
I know that not all of them are bad.
Cool. Yeah. So I'm just wondering, let's say Sly in this case does not necessarily mean like a pickpocket. Like people call him Sly Vico maybe because he he's known for being particularly
You should probably change
crafty
it to
and
clever.
Clever. Okay, we'll just do we'll do that. Clever,
Which still is
professor.
a little off, but hey.
Yeah, I just need something, I need some sort of nickname that would
Well,
be
let's tell him
useful.
apart from the other professor who has the same name who isn't as smart.
Exactly.
I mean,
right?
It seems to me more like something a student would give your name. Oh, he thinks he's so smart. Clever Vico.
Clever.
Or he's actually the dumber teacher, and that they've named him Clever as an insult.
Kind of like naming the Fat Boy Slim.
Exactly. So, Clever Vico is a monkey who has, in his youth, he had sort of a brown tan fur, but it has mostly gone to white, and he wears large glasses. But when he sees you, Connor, he says, "Oh my, well, you cut quite a nice figure in that alumen armor, Sir Connor. You do wear it like a true knight, but I wonder if you have remembered your lessons. It is good to see you, though." And he will totter over and pay you the formal respects as befitting your station.
I'm sorry, you're just saying, like, remember, I trained you military tactics. Remember, the enemy can strike at any time. Like now!
Ah, yeah, oh, I love
Attack!
that.
Connor will nod.
Or if you kill the students, anyone who gets killed, he gets a failing grade.
Exactly.
I've survived this long. I've certainly kept most of your lessons to heart. Good Vico.
We'll see. We'll see. It's good to see you, lad. I must say these are troubling times we live in, and unfortunately, the corruption of the land has reached us even here in the learned halls of Concierge. But well, I wonder if you wouldn't join me for dinner. Catch up. It would be great to see you. In fact, I have some questions about your travels. It has been many, many years, has it not?
It has. Certainly, out of character, I'm trying to figure out how to see if I can get the others to come with us, or if I should just make this private.
That's up to you. You throw your weight around. He'll say that he doesn't have a lot of he lives in lodging that's provided by the university. He's not like a wealthy man. But he's also, we'll say, very if you get on his good side, he's very hospitable. So he wouldn't turn down anyone that you wanted to bring with you. He might turn down if you want to bring your crew
No, I'm
of
not bringing the
bodyguards.
irregulars.
Yeah, the irregulars, maybe not.
They're gonna get some money, and they can go out in the town and have fun at the bars.
Yeah, but they can try. There's a lot of people like reciting poetry at these bars, I imagine.
Well, that's just, let's say, have to fight if they're going to be in a bar full of intellectuals.
That's a fair point. Although I would say, don't take these intellectuals too lightly. When they get their wine in them, they can be quite heated, like the Hellions of the battlefield. But well, wielding letter openers rather than swords and spears.
Letter openers and some of them spells.
Oh, indeed, you've remembered well. Although it is not ours to discuss, but of late, suspicions have been turning to the practitioners of magic. There are some rumors that I regret to say I am beginning to hear with more frequency that members of our magic-wielding class here are involved in dark forces. Secret societies are what the people say. Those conspiring against the crown and the archbishop, but, well, these are of the topics I'd wish to speak with you about. Perhaps it would be better said over a private dinner table than here in these halls where anyone could hear.
Yes, I certainly have my own thoughts on the matters of kings. Would you mind, my friends, and I'm sure everybody else is nearby, or he could at least give names.
Exactly, yep.
My friends Anushka, the doctor, and Dan here, they have proved loyal and trustworthy. And I would not wish to leave them out of this facet of my life.
He's, as I said, very hospitable. He says, of course, you're more than welcome. You all look like you have seen plenty of action, and I yearn to hear your tales of your exploits out in the field. It has been far too long since I was permitted to see a real battle, and so I must live vicariously through the tales, the stories of friends. You all are more than welcome to attend. I hope you enjoy Dre stew. My wife makes the finest. This side of the what is the name of this? The Suldra, right? The Suldra River. There we go.
Yep, literally the capital's name is the Castle on the River.
Yeah.
That
So anyway,
was excellent. Besides,
Oh.
it would be good to have you meet my Squire Potter. I'm considering having him come to this university to be educated.
Oh, a squire! You are doing quite well for yourself, sir. And I'm sure any student that you would choose to take on has a bold heart. I look forward to meeting the lad.
He's sometimes too brave for his own good. And I know that here at this school we temper such hot hearts, and make them hard and strong as steel.
Yes, well, we tried, though some hearts are more difficult to temper, and he gives you like a little nudge in the ribs, basically.
Yeah, I was
he's also
young back then. Come now.
Yes, well, we should save this more banter for dinner. You know the address; it hasn't changed in these years. And the other thing that he's going to look over at Mercurio. Mercurio is looking around. Mercurio has a habit of staring in wonder at places and sometimes losing himself in his thoughts. You think that perhaps he is remembering something or attempting to remember something. And he's had this particular stare as he eyes the architecture of this place. And he says, your friend has the bearings of a man of knowledge about him. Is he is he a traveling scholar? Many do come to these halls in quests of knowledge.
He may very well be, but he is one of the matters I wish to discuss this night when we are in a more private setting.
Ah, of course. Well, then, there's not much time before the hour that we will dine. If you have anything that you wish to do or any questions you have about the town, please do not hesitate to ask. I just need to finish some looking over some papers, some theses of my students, but I will meet you there.
Oh, so pardon me if I'm too forward, sir. So where is the bathhouse?
Oh, I don't know. I feel like a bathhouse could do some sort of business here in Conscient.
Well, it probably would, but this, if there's any place in the world that's, any place in Calabria that's classist, it is Abernaquan domain.
Right.
Like, they don't, they would probably send me to the barber. Which
Gotcha.
Needs must. I mean, I've done worse. A barber surgeon is still better. Because barber surgeons are just, they treat, minor injuries, but also, clean you up.
Yeah.
And probably a place to buy lots of pungent smelling cologne so I can smell like a street hooker.
There you go.
Probably will pass.
Like a horsey street hooker. Okay.
Like a street whore.
I say nay.
I love Ironclaw.
There you go. Yeah, he'll direct you towards a barber. He comments on your very fine weapons and blades, and He says that he's sure that there are stories behind both of them. He seems like a friendly enough sort of guy, but yeah. But you do note that he does not direct you to any, well, like you said, anything that would be considered like a high-class establishment.
Yeah, Connor will ask after he's done directing Anushka where the actual bathhouse is, so he can go there.
You're gonna go to the classy bathhouse.
Ooh, wait, that's right. I'm attached to Connor.
I guess. Yeah, I guess.
But still, actually, yeah, I'll just be off. I can take care of myself.
I like the idea that like you show up with Connor and you're like standing there holding his towel and you're just like looking around at all of like the saunas and you're just like, oh, I'm just gonna go check out this thing over here. Just hold. I'm gonna put your towel right here.
The picture in the book that we have is of a Turkish bath with their small independent baths. But I'm guessing if they wouldn't probably have a large public display like that in Havertapod to make it seemly.
That's right.
Because you can see there's even disapproving people, like there's the priest who's sitting there pointing out the decadence. It's one of my favorite pictures.
Right, there you go. So yeah, so this might be more of a private
Yeah, which also means it's more
private
expensive.
rooms.
So I just need to get the bathhouses in Triskellion are fashioned after the Germanic or Italian ones, where it's like you don't have a bath at home, so this is like a big deal.
Yeah. It's an arcade in an age before home consoles. I don't know. There's no reason to make that. I was just thinking.
The concept of everyone getting together in a public space to hang out is a strange one in 2021.
Yeah, right?
Well, it depends. Should be a strange one. To some, it's not.
Okay, well, so as you guys split off to go get cleaned and fixed up, I'm going to say, Anushka, you find basically everything that you expect to find. There's a lot of perfumes that you could purchase. None of them smell particularly like your kind of speed. But I will say that Connor, while you attend the bathhouse, you can see there's a lot of old and learned looking individuals that you pass in sort of the sitting area wearing robes. They're either coming from their baths and relaxing. It's like the relaxing room, right? And you can't help but notice that it's something that catches your eye. One of these lounging individuals, let's see, we'll say would it be, there is sort of like a racial divide in this world where generally you don't see, if you see a boar, you would associate them with Delorio, right? You wouldn't. So
No, I would associate with them Harmony.
I mean, well, yeah.
Well,
sure.
he's a foreigner, so
Yeah.
I'm
But,
just
yeah,
saying
but
that
most-
your example, literally Harmon fell in love with a woman who wasn't from the Delorio domain.
Exactly.
right. But I mean, yeah, usually people assume that most of the boars come from the mountainous forest ranges, and wolves are from the west, and horses are from the east.
Exactly. So you know what? This is
So
this
migration's not a big thing in Calabria, is what you're saying.
Yeah, there's always going to be, I have to imagine, and this is just all society throughout history, there's always going to be like outliers and like cultural bleed and people
Well, we're
who are like,
seeking to abolish ethnic determinism back in Triskellion. And if you'd like to smash the monarchy and the patriarchy while we're at it, I have some literature I can read.
I mean,
there you go.
It just seems like a weird thing, considering that Calabria wasn't. The history of Calabria being that we landed upon these shores and colonized it. So why are these races?
It's like a whole can of worms that you're open.
Well, I mean, I didn't write it. I didn't write it in the book. It's in the book. So it just seems weird that we would have these isolated groups of species that all stuck to one spot the moment they settled down.
Yeah, well, it also seems weird that people have a certain idea for American when there's such things as First Nations, but I don't think we want to get into this in the stream today.
Fair enough. So,
Hold on, I'm
well,
gonna
here,
switch this over to the educational territory. Let's
There
break
you
it down, Raph.
Okay, so Connor, as you are waiting for your assigned bath to be ready, are waiting in this lobby, and you see that there is a gentleman who is a donkey. He looks to be advanced in age, and there's just something about the way that he handles himself that makes you, or like is sitting, that makes you think of bureaucracy. But you notice that he is wearing on one of his fingers a large ring, and the ring it's not something that would catch your eye, except that there is a design on the ring that you recall. It calls to mind a design that was found on the brass amulet that you recovered from the Harbinger, the strange necromantic witch woman that wrote you the map and the ritual instructions after the doctor answered her questions. And it stands out to you in your mind. It's something that's hard for you to ignore now that you've seen it. You want to get a better look at this ring to like really confirm anything, and it's difficult from where you're currently standing, but it's something that nags at you. But also your bath is ready, so it's up to you what you want to do.
Well, he'll file that away for later. I think it'll be something that he would want to tell the doctor at least, when we see him again.
Mm-hmm.
But he will go for his bath afterward, and as I said, keep that ring and the donkey in mind.
Cool.
And just so in case he comes by to talk or whatnot, on that off chance.
Yeah, okay. This also brings up another interesting subject. Do we want to assume that the doctor has stayed back in Shalon and is drinking off his woes about Lael, or for expediency's sake, is he just in the absentee party member backpack? He's here, he's just not doing or saying a whole lot. How do you guys want to tackle it?
I mean, he should be somewhere that when he rejoins us will easily be explained as, oh, he's here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so he's probably seeking charity at the church. You know what I mean? Like a free room and board that would hold him up.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So, and he's probably gonna get it too. And just stay low key. All right. So, let's pick it up. Everyone has reconvened at the home of this clever Vico. Vico, right?
Vico.
Wait, is this
which
the guy we were
is-
looking for?
No, not Ludovico.
Is Vigo his last name and his first name is Luda?
There you go. It's all a clever ruse.
No, I have Ludovico is his name, which from Italian basically means happy boss.
Now, just making a joke that his last name is Vico, and this is the guy we've been looking for. Clever Luda Vico.
Might be more than one person with that name. That's why they say Ludovico from.
Yeah. So Griff is actually watching in the chat. He said that he had all of this information that he wanted to about necromancers, about the necro ticks, the dark magic that you guys discovered, and the dark magic items that you pilfered, and that he wants to show off his research. And that's a very interesting thing because it raises questions about how willing the religious intelligentsia of the Avoirdupois lands are in actually like dealing with this stuff. Is it something that like a learned institution would want to examine, or is it unholy and unclean and needs to be burned and removed from the earth so as to not taint the clean minds the religious,
I mean,
right?
more pressing is
I don't
the
know.
fact that the doctor is an anonymous nobody with no degrees or any provincial education showing up with a bunch of fleas saying, I want to talk about this.
Look at my
Which
bag of ticks. That's a fair point.
I think is not going to go over well.
He also has he does not have the home field advantage being from Bruges, and being a Doloro native, he's a Dolorio native.
It's Doloro.
It is Doloro?
Yes.
Okay.
But I mean, even from that aspect, he's still a anonymous nobody. It's the trade-off he's playing here for.
Yeah.
Oh, you're a doctor, huh? Let me see some proof. Well, I
Some
don't.
ID.
Yeah. Where were you educated?
So yeah, you're right. I think that he would maybe he would try to find someone who would be interested in this, but he's not going to have a lot of luck. Not here, not in this case. So then, all right, yes. So you have joined Clever Vico in his chambers, and it's a little bit cramped in here for the entire party, but they have set out a plates for everyone, and the food is not bad. It's tasty. It's not the royal cuisine that you have had. It doesn't compare to some of the best stuff that you've eaten, Connor. But it's probably better than a lot of the stuff that Dan's eaten lately too. So,
well, I mean, to be fair, we've all been eating the same stuff lately.
that's true. That's a fair point.
You're
A
giving
lot of
the
road
example
rations.
of royal food. When's the last time Connor had royal food?
It's just a very fair
Been
point.
some time.
I think
Probably since the last time he was home.
Well, I mean, the last time we were down this way, probably in that not the royalty, the nobility that was up near Bruges. That house where, Anushka got thrown out of a window or jumped out of a window or something like that. I think that place was the last fine dining that was established.
Well, no, we did. Well, I did do some partying with the actor people. We went to some really nice places in Harrogate. I'm not really sure how to tell you this, but this town is pretty much downer. Although it is a university town, so I'm guessing that somewhere there has to be a bunch of boys down to party. But you
Yeah.
probably don't want to party with a bunch of spoiled, overeducated.
No, I'm here with you guys.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, they invited Dan into their house. I'm just saying that the implication that we're all used to fine dining, or Connor's used to fine dining. No, you've been eating hardtack along the side of the rest of us this whole time.
I think Dan, trust me, I believe anyone only needs to look at you for 1 minute and realize that you don't know anything about the finer things in life.
I do
Which is why
appreciate that every moment you've taken is to take a shot at me.
No, actually, now, but I should be in character. So we should take you to go party with the overeducated people in this town. I can show you where a party is.
We got invited to
all
their
the
house.
Skills necessary to find a party. You don't want to be with the nobles. They're going to sit there and castigate you for eating with the wrong fork.
So
and then
you're saying that we should abandon Connor to his house alone?
Well, first of all, we're not abandoning him. He has a retinue.
I thought they were getting drunk at the bars.
Yeah, the retinue was not invited to this dinner.
I do have Potter with me.
Yeah, he's got a squire. He's fine.
He's got Potter.
Oh no, he's only got a squire and his immense wealth.
He's got Mercurio is also joining. Mercurio doesn't
You
seem
take
interested.
Mercurio out of the town too.
You're like, come with us, Mercurio.
Well, I mean, no one's gonna know who you are here. We might run into someone who actually knows you on the street.
Nobody ever knows who I am.
I thought you liked it that way. Aren't you running from the law or something?
No.
You live like this and you're not a fugitive.
Why would I be a fugitive?
Why would you live like this?
Why not?
Oh,
I live the ultimate freedom. Nobody's calling on me. I can sleep. I can sleep until the sun sets, and then wake when the sun also sets the next day.
And yet you're still single.
Well,
and somehow still single.
Hey, that whole town that we left back there, some of them would say otherwise. They'd be wrong, but they might say otherwise.
Everyone trying to
It's a
tie
good
him
thing I
down,
have.
but he's a free spirit.
Yep. Well, it's a good thing I haven't eaten yet, so I can't wreck.
There you go.
Let's go find some excitement in a town even more miserable than Shalon.
Oh, well, Vico is disappointed. He had hoped to assail all of your friends, Connor, with questions of their, courageous exploits, but he's happy to just catch up with an old friend and learn more about this. Oh, you're taking Mercurio with you?
Well, I'll offer to do so, but I'm not going to be too insistent. If he wants to go, I mean, what am I going to do? Drag him on a pub crawl? Or is he going to say, oh no, I'm going to turn down the high cuisine by some of the richest people in the entire world to go on a pub crawl with you and your unwashed friend?
I think probably Mercurio's drive. I mean, there's some people who would take you up on the offer, but I think Mercurio's drive is maybe to speak with someone who might help him find his memory. And
right. So that's
you guys are going to lose memory. That's the.
Let me pitch this at you, Mercurio. You can talk to one guy who might be able to help you with your memory, or you come on this pub crawl with us and talk to a lot of people who might be able to help you with their memory. Yeah.
All of them are looking for their memories, so you'd be in good company.
Well, you see, they're all trying to lose their memories. So
yeah.
maybe amongst the lost memories, you'll find your missing memory.
Mercurio, he's kind of feels like he's up against the wall here. He says, I appreciate it, but I feel like I would not want to be rude.
Maybe somebody will recognize you. You ever think about that? You're not going to get recognized in a room of 2 people. You might get recognized in a room of 100.
Yeah. No, that's a valid point, I suppose. What say you, Sir Connor?
I could tell Grandmaster Vico of your plight at the very least. You don't have to be there for that. If you want to spend your time in wanton pursuits, who am I to stop you?
Oh, very good, sir. He gives you a bow, and it looks like a very formal kind of bow of deference. He says, well, then if it does not bother you, I will join the rest of the party in their exploits, their revelries.
Look over at Anushka and say, that's funny. It's the last thing my dad ever said to me.
My parents are very proud of me.
I think mine were, up until that last sentence.
Yeah.
You want to join your friends in wanton pursuits. Who am I to stop you? Thanks, Dad.
Hey, life is meant to be lived. Life is for the living.
Life is for the living.
Unless the other side gets their way.
That's true. Right now, there's forces contesting that point. And on that subject, once you have dined with the Grandmaster Vico, he's going to send the meager serving staff away and thank them and close in conspiratorially with you, Connor, and he's going to say, I must say that I'm quite proud what small part I may have had in helping arm you for your exploits. It sounds like you've comported yourself with honor and bravery, Connor, and I expected nothing less from you. You are, and always have been, one of my finest pupils, and I'm glad to have seen you again. It warms my heart after all these years. However, there is something that troubles me, and perhaps you're just the man to address it. As I mentioned earlier, there have been whispers of a secret society operating here in Conscient, and I fear that, again, I offhandedly, rumors are rumors. People make all kinds of outrageous claims, especially about things they don't understand. magic users, most of all, are usually the targets of such conjecture. But there have been strange things occurring recently with all this talk of unholy rites in the countryside and the strange rumors coming from Triskellion and from well, I guess it's what would be like the holy center here in of Wardepois? I forget. Is it Ardent?
That's Solon-sur-Soldier. That's where the big cathedral is.
Yeah, that's where their largest cathedral
Gotcha.
is.
Okay, then out
I
of
forget where the
Chalon.
exact conversion happened of the king, but Chalon has the cathedral.
Got it. So yeah, so out of the cathedral in Chalon. Well, I've seen things myself too. Whispers, men that I consider to be my friends and colleagues, passing messages of cryptic meaning, and gathering in private halls. It is most troubling. I wonder, could you tell me of what you have seen? Actually, at this point, it's possible that you've already told him of your encounters with the necromancers, but I leave that up to you.
He would tell them, of course, of the necromancers that we've defeated, the ticks, and he would also mention the man in the bathhouse, the donkey with the signet ring. He would describe the ring if he in. Oh, he doesn't have any craft, so he would draw a really shitty rendition of it.
But yeah, this
But I'm
seems
sure he could, if he has probably at least enough training in heraldry to know, like, a lion rampant on the field of ardent is a lion on his hind legs on the field of white or silver.
Yeah.
He might not know what all the heraldry across Calabria would be, and that's what the gift is for. But he would know how to read heraldry, at least.
right.
And
Yeah.
so he would use the proper terms, and that should convey what the ring looks like if it follows those, guidelines.
I feel like
Right here in your very university, he was at the desk of the bathhouse.
Yeah, when you describe it, you can see the wheels turning in Vico's mind, and he says that does bode ill. Yes. Well, let me tell you of these rumors. There is a it is supposed that those bearing markings, such as the one you described on this ring, are members of a society that operate within the faculty of the school itself. Taking a left turn into Harry Potter territory here, but they call them, or at least the rumors call them, the Copper Eye Society. And if they are true, then they are those studying the forbidden magics, necromancy, the unholy arts.
The old chestnut of putting coppers on the eyes upon death in order to see the spirit to the afterlife. That's an old heliodrome practice, is it not?
Indeed. Ha! You remember your lessons well. So, well, I myself have I've been around long enough, and I know something of strategy intact. I do not intend to implicate myself against any such society, should it indeed exist. But I have done what I can to investigate these rumors, and near as I can tell, they gather. The men implicated, at least, tend to gather at a particular tavern here at the edge of town. I don't know if you wouldn't mind being, well, an outsider to this place as you are now. Perhaps you could do a little bit of investigation on my behalf, eh? I couldn't, well, really pay you your proper dues for this adventure, but well, I know that you're a man of honor. You've already proven yourself many times to be a loyal servant of the Vordepois crown, and this would be one
just
more.
be an extension of my duty as a knight to the crown.
Indeed, I knew you would see it that way as well.
Well, I have good news for you, Headmaster. Grandmaster. My goal sheet just got cleared off, so I've got one slot left.
Perfect. All right. Okay, so he gives you the name of the tavern. It is actually, this has some good connotation as well. The Familiar Mouse, which feels like it could be sort of an innuendo in this land. I kind of like that though.
Familiar is definitely
An innuendo. Maybe that's a little racy for a tavern in sort of like a college town.
well, that might explain why people go there.
And maybe, yeah. It's definitely like it's not where most of the faculty hangs out, we'll say that. And because of that, it's odd that these faculty members would be found drinking over there. They probably go wearing hooded cloaks, things that hide their identity. But yes, I'll offer this as an official goal, which is to, let's see, should be something that is completable. Let's say,
I hate those uncompletable goals.
I know, right? Let's say, discover the secrets of the Copper Eye Society.
– Interesting.
Hey, wait a second. All these guys have copper eyes. Secret
Wait
discovered.
a minute. Well, that wasn't much of a mystery, now was it?
Dan went on to then
Okay.
discover that up is down, black is white, and erase all of existence.
Indeed. Now, according to Vico's suspicions, these meetings are held in the dark of night. It is still evening time here. It's supper time, so not really like the middle of the night. You guys are still very early on your pub crawl with Mercurio. Potter, as eager as ever, says, "Oh, well, we could go investigate tonight."
We could, yes. Although there is a matter of our one companion. What is Mercurio's species?
He is a gray fox.
The gray fox. He's lost his memory, and we were hoping to find someone here who could help him with that problem.
Oh,
In amongst this den of grandly learned individuals, surely somebody could find some way to plumb his mind and dig out the secrets.
you believe that the source of his memory loss is a curse, dark magic.
Out of character, what was the condition that we were told he was found in that led us to believe it might not be totally natural, or did that
Right.
not happen?
No. Let's see.
Also, is it Potter asking these questions? Because this Potter is a little bit more articulate than the Potter
No,
I'm used to.
this is Connor.
No. I'm saying when Red is talking. When Red's talking. Is that Potter?
Sorry.
Doesn't sound like
Nope.
the bumpkin farmer turned knight that I'm used to.
Yeah, right. I need to come up with a better voice cast.
The guy that frequently talks people into their death.
Exactly. Potter has like a squeaky, unsure of himself. I'll just make him Southern. That's shorthand for country bumpkin.
Sure. Insult the
sure, right.
southern guy who's holding onto the stream right now.
But yeah, so a quick refresher. From what you know, Mercurio arrived in the Harmony at the Abbey, um, basically begging. He didn't have any money to his name, and he did not have his memory. So he went there seeking help, and they took him in. And they gave him the name Mercurio. And after that, they did attempt all manner of white magic curse breaking that they had at their disposal. It is one of the larger abbeys in the Avoirdupois lands, so they should have some powerful magic users at their disposal. They were not able to cure him of his memory loss. The doctor examined him as well and did not find any evidence of like a physical injury that might have damaged his mind. So I believe you guys decided that the most likely culprit of this memory loss would be cognoscenti magic, something that is, or what was it? Or some kind of
Well, sometimes people just go mad because of a traumatic event in their lives. I mean, that's a medieval concept.
Yeah, so it could be something like that. There's no evidence that there's some sort of residual magical force around this guy or that is like suppressing his memories. So it
Well,
probably
mind wizard
traumatic.
can steal your part of your soul. Everyone does that.
Indeed.
Maybe he sneezed too hard.
Ugh.
And
Ugh, my
someone forgot to
memories.
say bless you. Hmm.
Exactly. Sneeze the soul right out. So yeah, so it's reasonable to look for a mind wizard, right? To see if they can't shake something loose there.
He would, relate Mercurio's story, and that white magic had been used to try to ameliorate the effects of whatever it might have been, and it didn't work. At least
Okay.
notably.
Well, he'll tap his chin and he'll say, "There is a new professor. Um, she is she claims to have had some experience studying the mental arts and has devoted herself to teaching holy magics, but she may be able to help with her background. Um, her name is Alphelina. Alphelina. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna drop that in the chat. Her name is Alphelina, and it would be too late to call upon her at this hour of the night, but I can arrange a meeting for the young master Mercurio.
Thank you. He's probably too sauced at the moment to make a good subject for those who study the mind. But tomorrow, I'm sure he'll be in great spirits.
Yes, well, it is our it is our day of rest tomorrow, so hopefully her schedule will be clear and I will arrange it.
Excellent. Thank you, Headmaster. Sorry, Grandmaster. I keep making that mistake.
Grandmaster. No, that's cool. And he gives you a wise smile and a slight bow. He says, "It's my pleasure to help an old student and comrade in arms, fellow servant of our king. I think I'd like to take this opportunity to ask for a quick break so I can go grab more water.